Good morning, dear friends. Welcome back to our Sunday Gospel Reflection. I'm Brother James, and I'm wishing you all a blessed and happy Sunday. Today, we celebrate the 28th Sunday in Ordinary Time. In today's Gospel, Jesus yet again shares an insightful parable known as the parable of the wedding banquet. This parable holds three essential lessons. 1. The royal banquet invitation. 2. The response to God's call. And 3. The wedding garment. Let's see what our gospel is going to enlighten us today.
Sunday Gospel Reflection coming up right now.
Our gospel passage is taken from the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 22, verses 1 to 14. The first essential point of the parable describes a king prepares a magnificent wedding banquet for his son and extends his invitation to many. Sadly, the invited guests decline the invitation. So the king invites everyone irrespective of their social standing. This royal banquet symbolizes the kingdom of heaven, where there is boundless joy and loving relationship with God. God invites all of us to partake in this heavenly banquet and have a loving communion with Him. His generous invitation to participate in this heavenly banquet is for all. It is universal. So, the first essential point reminds us our goal in life is to reach heaven and have a loving communion with God. The second crucial element is our response to God's invitation. Seeing the refusals in the parable, we are reminded that many times we also refuse God's invitation. Many times we prioritize worldly matters over God's call. We forget how to communicate with God. Most of the time, we don't seek His guidance and communicate with Him properly to make any decisions. In our experience, we see that we give a lot of excuse to God because of the busyness in our lives. Remember that God's invitation is always irrevocable. He is always waiting for us. Let us not hesitate to say yes to the Lord. Also remember, behind every yes to the Lord, there is a surprise and joy waiting in our lives. The third interesting element of this parable is that of the wedding garment. Even though the guests were willing to come to this banquet to enjoy the presence of the king, they found one man without the wedding garment. It seems that it is very important for the king, for the guests to have the wedding garment on this special occasion. In our Christian faith, this wedding garment signifies love or charity. To enter the kingdom of heaven, we must clothe ourselves with this love. This love is that St. Paul speaks in the first letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 5. The love that springs from a pure heart, a good conscience, and a sincere faith. Friends, remember that accepting God's invitation is not just merely saying yes, but also allowing that yes to transform our lives. In a way, the unprepared presence of the guest was not acceptable by the king. Similarly, only a pure heart full of love can unite us with God and be in loving communion with Him in the heavenly banquet. So friends, let us clothe ourselves with this love. Surely, the parable of the wedding banquet conveys a powerful message. First, God's kingdom is open to all, and our response to it is crucial. So let us accept God's invitation joyfully and prioritize Him in our lives to strive for purity of heart. In this way, we can partake in the heavenly banquet of His kingdom. I appreciate your time, dear friends. Until our next reflection, let us remember to stay blessed. I appreciate your time, dear friends. Until next time. I appreciate your time, dear friends. Until next time. Okay, perfect. Thank you.